The problem was staring him right in his mud-washed rural face. The greatest thing to happen to him or his small country village, and he couldn't share it with anyone. It was something. Budding flowers of various colors framed the age-stone black wall of his cottage like a portrait. Green vines weaved and twisted across and along the surface of the wall, like brushstrokes on canvas. It produced what Buck could only describe as the word. Flowers dotted, formed circulars, leaves embellished, vines straightened and connected strokes. The word was very legible and could not have been mistaken for anything else. That was the problem. It was literally spelt out. Buck feared the word and the power that it held. Buck was a man of simple thinking. Most would ask questions in a moment like this. Buck had one. What next? He recognized it as something not everyday, although he couldn't be sure if it had been designed or not. He knew that neither he nor anyone he knew had made it. But was this a case of pareidolia, or had nature really, intentionally produced that word? Buck lacked the words to describe it and wondered if anyone possessed the words to truly describe the word on the wall. Buck liked folks. They liked him for the most part. If Buck were to share this natural miracle, he would be giving everyone permission to hate him. That didn't seem fair. The problem for him centered around, for the most part anyway, sharing the word. Could have brought a friend round, described it in a letter or on the telephone, took a picture. It was important that whoever saw it knew that Buck had not been the one to make it. If make was even the right word to use. If only it had been some other word. Buck stared at it, the awe-inspiring beauty, the whiplash that followed when acknowledging the way that nature had formed the word. Problematic, contextless, offensive, futile. To even mention a single letter of the word would reveal too much, would tinge too darkly Buck and what he did to save himself. It'd gotten dark. He had spent the whole evening staring at his back wall. But from that came a solution. Fire. It was always going to be fire. He found his old Polaroid in the attic and took a snapshot of the wall. For prosperity. One day he'd look back with confused interest. But for now, he would destroy the word. The world would remain ignorant of what took place on that wall. Buck believed that they would have just jumped to conclusions. Careful to not burn down his cottage, Buck placed small dabs of gasoline across the canvas of the wall, struck the match, and watched in terrored amazement as the fire consumed. It burned all night. He reflected back to the fire, to the wall, to the events that followed. Had he made the right choice? He remembered the wall, the word, the fear. Fire was the only sensible option. It was primal, a panicked response. Buck was a man of simple thinking.